1997, Titanic became more than just a movie, it became a worldwide phenomenon. From unforgettable love stories to heartbreaking moments, the cast gave us character we still remember nearly 3 decades later. But have you wondered how the Titanic star look today and how old they are now? Let us travel back in time and see the Titanic cast then and now. In 1997, a 22-year-old Leonardo DiCaprio became a heartthrob after playing Jack Dawson, the charming young artist who stole Rose's heart aboard the Titanic. Now in 2026, at 51-year-old, Leonardo has transformed into one of Hollywood's biggest stars, building an iconic career with blockbuster films and even winning an Academy Award.
Back in 1997, Billy Zane was 31 years old when he played Cal Hockley, Rose's wealthy and controlling fiancé, a character many fans love to dislike. Now in 2026, at age 60, Billy Zane looks noticeably different while continuing to work steadily in films and television. At just 22 years old in 1997, Kate Winslet captured millions of hearts as Rose, the young woman trapped between wealth, expectations, and true love. Today, in 2026, 50-year-old Kate Winslet remains one of Hollywood's most respected actresses, continuing to impress audiences with award-winning performances. In 1997, 49-year-old Kathy Bates brought strength and humor to the role of Molly Brown, one of Titanic's most unforgettable passengers. Fast forward to 2026, and at 78 years old, Kathy remains a legendary actress known for her powerful performances across film and television. Back in 1997, Frances Fisher was 45 years old when she portrayed Ruth, Rose's strict mother, who pushed her daughter toward wealth and status. Now, in 2026, at age 74, Frances continues her acting career while remaining recognizable to fans from many popular TV dramas and films. In 1997, 48-year-old Victor Garber played Thomas Andrews, the brilliant shipbuilder who tragically realized the Titanic's fate before anyone else. Today, in 2026, at 77 years old, Victor is still admired for his long-running television and film career. Back in 1997, Bernard Hill was 53 years old when he portrayed Captain Edward Smith, the man responsible for commanding the ill-fated ship. Sadly, Bernard passed away in 2024 at the age of 79, but his unforgettable performances continue to live on through cinema history. In 1997, 42-year-old Bill Paxton played treasure hunter Brock Lovett, the man searching for Titanic's lost secrets beneath the ocean. Sadly, Bill passed away in 2017 at the age of 61, but fans still remember him for his incredible work in some of Hollywood's biggest films. At 87 years old in 1997, Gloria Stuart delivered an unforgettable performance as the older Rose, telling the emotional story of Titanic from memory. Gloria sadly passed away in 2010 at the remarkable age of 100, leaving behind a legendary Hollywood legacy. Back in 1997, David Warner was 56 years old when he played Lovejoy, Cal Hockley's loyal and intimidating bodyguard. Sadly, David passed away in 2022 at age 80, but his memorable performances in film and television continue to be celebrated by fans worldwide. Back in 1997, Susie Amos was 35 years old when she played Lizzie Calvert, the caring granddaughter of old Rose who listened to her grandmother's emotional Titanic memories. Now in 2026, at 64 years old, Susie has largely stepped away from acting and focused more on environmental and philanthropic work. In 1997, 29-year-old Danny Nucci played Fabrizio, Jack Dawson's cheerful best friend, whose dream was to start a new life in America. Today, in 2026, at age 58, Danny remains active in television and is still remembered fondly by Titanic fans. Back in 1997, Jason Barry was only 25 years old when he portrayed Tommy Ryan, Jack's Irish friend aboard the Titanic. Now, in 2026, at 54 years old, Jason continues working in entertainment while fans still recognize him from his Titanic role. In 1997, Jonathan Hyde was 49 years old when he played J. Bruce Ismay, the White Star Line chairman often blamed for the ship's tragic fate. Fast forward to 2026, and at 78 years old, Jonathan Hyde continues to be admired for his memorable performances in both film and television. Back in 1997, Bernard Fox was 70 years old when he portrayed Colonel Archibald Gracie, one of Titanic's first-class passengers. Sadly, Bernard passed away in 2016 at the age of 89, leaving behind decades of unforgettable performances. In 1997, Eoin Gruffud was just 24 years old when he played Officer Harold Lowe, one of the few officers who bravely returned to search for survivors in the freezing ocean. Now in 2026, at age 53, Eoin continues acting and remains familiar to fans through both films and television projects. Back in 1997, Eric Braeden was 56 years old when he portrayed wealthy businessman John Jacob Astor IV aboard the Titanic. Today, in 2026, at an impressive 85 years old, Eric is still active in entertainment and continues to enjoy a long-running career. In 1997, young Alexandrea Owen Sarno was only 8 years old when she played little Cora, the sweet child who famously danced with Jack. Now in 2026, at 37 years old, Alexandrea still receives love from Titanic fans who remember her adorable role. Back in 1997, Reese Thompson was just 6 years old when he briefly appeared in Titanic during the lively third-class party scenes. Fast forward to 2026, and at 35 years old, Reese still surprises fans who discover he was once part of the Titanic cast. In 1997, Louis Abernathy was 59 years old when he played Louis Bodine, Brock Lovett's energetic and often funny research partner. Sadly, Louis passed away in 2023 at the age of 85, but Titanic fans still remember his entertaining performance. And we're only getting started. The Titanic cast has changed a lot over the years. Back in 1997, Ewan Stewart was 38 years old when he portrayed First Officer William Murdoch, one of the senior officers desperately trying to manage the unfolding disaster aboard the Titanic. Now in 2026, at 67 years old, Ewan continues to be respected for his long acting career across film and television. In 1997, Jonathan Phillips was 32 years old when he played Second Officer Charles Lightoller, one of the Titanic officers who helped coordinate lifeboat evacuations during the tragedy. Today, in 2026, at age 61, Jonathan continues to work in entertainment, while Titanic fans still remember his memorable role. Back in 1997, Mark Lindsay Chapman was 43 years old when he portrayed Chief Officer Henry Wilde, another senior officer aboard the Titanic during its final hours. Fast forward to 2026, and at 72 years old, Mark remains recognizable for appearances across both movies and television. In 1997, Paul Brightwell was 49 years old when he played Quartermaster Robert Hichens, the crew member responsible for steering Lifeboat 6 after the sinking began. Sadly, Paul passed away in 2021 at the age of 73, but fans continue to appreciate his memorable performance in Titanic. Back in 1997, Martin Jarvis was 53 years old when he portrayed Sir Cosmo Duff Gordon, one of the wealthy first-class passengers aboard the ship. Today, in 2026, at 82 years old, Martin remains admired for his decades-long career in film, television, and voice acting. In 1997, Rosalind Ayres was 50 years old when she portrayed Lady Lucille Duff Gordon, a first-class passenger who survived the disaster. Now in 2026, at age 79, Rosalind continues to be remembered for her graceful screen presence and long acting career. Back in 1997, Rochelle Rose was 30 years old when she played the Countess of Rothes, a first-class passenger known for helping row lifeboats during the tragedy. Today, in 2026, at 59 years old, Rochelle still remains familiar to many Titanic fans around the world. In 1997, Jonathan Evans-Jones was 33 years old when he portrayed Wallace Hartley, the brave bandleader remembered for continuing to play music as chaos unfolded aboard the Titanic. Now in 2026, at age 62, Jonathan's role still stands out as one of Titanic's most emotional moments. Back in 1997, Jeanette Goldstein was 37 years old when she played the emotional role of the Irish mother, whose heartbreaking scene became unforgettable for Titanic viewers. Today in 2026, at 66 years old, Jeanette is still fondly remembered by fans for several iconic movie roles. In 1997, Michael Ensign was 53 years old when he portrayed businessman Benjamin Guggenheim, one of the wealthy passengers aboard the Titanic. Sadly, Michael passed away in 2025 at the age of 81, but his contribution to Titanic and many other productions continues to be appreciated by fans. Back in 1997, Amy Gaipa was 20 years old when she played Trudy Bolt, Rose's loyal and caring maid aboard the Titanic. Now in 2026, at 49 years old, Amy looks very different from her Titanic days, though fans still remember her sweet and memorable role. In 1997, Simon Crane was 38 years old when he portrayed Fourth Officer Joseph Boxall, one of the officers trying to help passengers during Titanic's final moments. Today, in 2026, at age 67, 2011, Simon is still respected in Hollywood, especially for his work in stunt coordination and filmmaking. Back in 1997, Edward Fletcher was 26 years old when he played 6th Officer James Moody, one of Titanic's youngest officers. Now in 2026, at 55 years old, Edward continues to be remembered by Titanic fans for his role in the iconic disaster film. In 1997, Scott G. Anderson was 32 years old when he portrayed Lookout Frederick Fleet, the crew member who first spotted the iceberg. Today, in 2026, at age 61, Scott still remains connected to one of Titanic's most unforgettable moments in movie history. Back in 1997, Craig Kelly was 26 years old when he portrayed wireless operator Harold Bride, one of the men responsible for sending distress signals during the disaster. Fast forward to 2026, and at 55 years old, Craig continues his acting career while remaining familiar to Titanic fans. In 1997, Gregory Cook was 33 years old when he played Chief Wireless Operator Jack Phillips, who continued sending emergency messages during the ship's final hours. Now in 2026, at age 62, Gregory remains remembered for helping bring one of Titanic's heroic real-life figures to the screen. Back in 1997, Liam Tuohy was 35 years old when he portrayed Charles Jovan, Titanic's chief baker, remembered for surviving the freezing Atlantic waters. Today, in 2026, at 64 years old, Liam remains fondly remembered by Titanic fans for portraying one of the ship's most fascinating real-life survivors. In 1997, Lou Poulter was 68 years old when he portrayed businessman Isidor Strauss, whose emotional final moments alongside his wife became one of Titanic's most heartbreaking scenes. Sadly, Lou passed away in 2023 at the age of 94, but his unforgettable scene continues to move audiences around the world. Back in 1997, Elsa Raven was 68 years old when she portrayed Ida Strauss, the devoted wife who chose to stay beside her husband during Titanic's tragic ending. Sadly, Elsa passed away in 2020 at age 91.
Many fans don't know this, but in 1997, 43-year-old James Cameron, the director of Titanic, secretly appeared in the movie during dance sequence. Now in 2026, at 71-year-old James Cameron continues to be recognized as one of Hollywood's greatest filmmaker and creating some of cinema's biggest blockbuster. And that was the Titanic cast then and now. Nearly 3 decades later, some of his stars changed completely, some continued incredible careers, and sadly some are no longer with us. So which Titanic actor surprised you the most? Comment below your favorite actor and don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. But if you want me to create a then and now video on your favorite movie, then please let me know in the comment.